Hi and welcome to this live currency strength indicator table video with me, John, on this Wednesday the 5th of April. Here you can see we have our tables in front of us. We have two types of tables. We have the trend traders table and the day traders table. These are the same studies but just highlighting different time frames. You can see here some of the currencies are highlighted in green, meaning that the currencies are showing confluence between those time frames, and that's where we're focusing most of our attention in these videos. The tables auto update every 5 minutes 24/7, meaning that our members can see how the market stands right now in real time. So what actionable forex pairs are we going to be focusing on today? Well, we focused a lot on pound pairs yesterday. We're going to be focusing on the Aussie pairs today. You can see that the Australian dollar is the weakest, or the second weakest currency I should say, on the trend traders, but the weakest currency on our day traders. And I'm going to be focusing on that against a couple of different currencies, one being the Swiss franc, which is the second strongest currency on both tables, and the pound, which is the first strongest on the trend traders, but the third strongest on our day traders. Now, we talked about pound Aussie last week, so I'm actually going to kick it off with Aussie Swiss first. I'm going to take a look at where that market is positioned. So I'm on the Aussie Swiss daily chart at the moment, and you can see from the bigger picture, or the zoomed out view that I've got here, that the market is definitely in a downward trend. We're moving from the top left of our screen down to the bottom right of our screen, and we can see that we're creating all these lower lows and lower highs on the way down from a larger time frame perspective. If I just go to the weekly, we see that a little bit more clearly. Now it looks like we're heading down to the key supporting area around about the 0.6 level. If price trades through that, we could see Aussie Swiss trade all the way down to the 0.57 or even below that towards the 0.55 area. Now if we look at the daily time frame on Aussie Swiss, we can see that price has recently come up into our key resistance level at the 0.62 handle, which we actually featured in a previous video, and we were talking about the area of 0.62 acting as resistance for a continuation to the downside. So if you were looking around about the 0.62 level at the time, you could see that we had a possible opportunity for a 200 pip move to the downside. Now looking at the chart today, however, we can see that obviously price is breaking through some key supporting areas. We have this trend line support through here. We've also been obviously finding that resistance area. So for me, the momentum is now with the market, and it's pushing down towards that 0.6 level. So I want to be looking for potential opportunities to jump on this sort of move to the downside here. So what I'll be looking for is lower time frame entries. So if we just go to the 4-hour time frame, for instance, just going to zoom out a little bit because we are slightly congested in this area here. So if I was just kind of map that area out, it's like this area through here, with the high being that 0.6250, the target being that 0.6 area. Now there are some support levels in the way. Obviously before the 0.6 there was this low that formed, and that's where price could be targeting going into sort of today's session. However, if we do find support at those lows, I'll be looking for these minor resistance levels for opportunities in the market. So if I zoom in and just show you those, the first area of interest is going to be these lows around about the 0.61 area. You can see these lows through here. Most recently I've just mapped it out with this zone. If price was to come back up into that area and start finding resistance, that could be a good opportunity to look for a short down to the 0.6 level. Alternatively, I like to look at previous highs as a level, due to the fact that sellers would have been aggressive in and around this point. So I would be looking for price to even come a little bit deeper, maybe into the 0.6130, 0.6125 area. That zone there could be ideal to see some short entries as well. We also have obviously the confluence then of that supporting trend line turning into resistance at that point, which could drive prices lower. Moving on to the other chart of interest then, so like pound Aussie longs, we actually discussed pound Aussie in a previous video talking about getting long in that market, and if we head over to that, we can see that price is rallying into our point of interest. We still have a little bit of a way to go. We've still got 170 pips for first sort of areas of resistance before our overall target, which is the 1.9150. So we've still got 500 pips to go to potentially look for opportunities to the upside. So still enough room to really play with here. We actually spoke about a couple of different levels in the Pound Aussie video. So I'm going to go to the 4-hour time frame because this is where all our kind of analysis came from in the past. And at the time, price was trading within this bullish channel here. We then saw price form a consolidation, and there were two options that I talked about. There was either the breakout and retest for a move to the upside, or there was a pullback down, maybe even to the range lows for a move, or thirdly, sorry, I forgot the third one was a move down to the 1.83 handle for a move higher. Now, price ignored the range. I was kind of hoping that price would find support at the range, so we could kind of stay within this bullish channel. However, price had other ideas and it came back down to the 1.83, even into these lows here around about the 1.8250. But really speaking, that 1.83 acted as support. Price has rallied 330 pips since then. So if you did catch that move there, you'd already be 330 pips up. We're targeting 500 pips, looking for another move up to your other level of resistance, which is around about 850 pips away. However, didn't catch the move down in here, so I'm looking for other entry opportunities, and you can see that I've marked out the previous structure highs in here around about the 1.8550 handle. That's the area I'm going to be looking for price to come back into. So if we get a couple of closes above, I'll be looking for price to come back down. I'll be looking on my lower time frames for potential entries around this area. If you don't want to sit and wait for that, you could look to limit order this area. Stop losses, you want to be in line with sort of your ATRs there. So you've got 204 pips potentially for a stop loss, and the 204 pips will give you a nice reward to risk ratio if you target the higher sort of area of interest, being that 600 pip target. So you'll get your 3-to-1 reward to risk ratio if you were going to target the higher resistance level with the move. So I'm going to be looking to see if price could potentially continue this upward trend on Pound Aussie, looking for price to retest and continue higher. Hopefully you enjoyed this video update, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.